All right, well, now I'm going to talk about this idea of motivational interviewing and case management, specifically the boundary setting. So Danny works in a homeless shelter, and a lot of the guests at times will make asks that go beyond your capacity to fulfill.
Yeah.
What are some examples?
Yeah. I would say one example is a lot of times there's bunks at our shelter, so a lot of people want a bottom bunk, and we usually have to specifically keep them for those that have like medical reasons, but everyone will come to us with reasons under the sun why a bottom bunk is what they need.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other? That's a good example. So
Yeah.
you can't be switching people all over the time, and they might always ask for that. Any other examples?
Yeah, another one would be a lot of clients will come in and be with us for hours, right? So we'll sit down and make a housing plan, or we will kind of like take action steps, and we'll be like, okay, now it's your time to go do this, and they'll be kind of back in our office 30 minutes later, like wanting more. With at that point, we've done all we can, and it's kind of their time to take the reins. So I would say sometimes it's like setting a boundary of like, hey, I have 5 minutes to talk, and then we're gonna have to go, or just time management boundaries.
Excellent. So let's do an example of what that might look like. This is a pretty specific skill. What we're going to do is first kind of hear the concern, offer some empathy, maybe a little bit of, I don't know if you call it education or orienting to some policy or rules, and then redirecting the client to what they may do. So those would be kind of the 4 steps. So I'll be the case manager first. Throw one of those examples at me, Danny.
Brad, so I went to 4th Street and they wouldn't give me a bottom bunk, no, but I have a bad back and I don't want to climb up the ladder one more time.
Gotcha. So what I'm hearing is that you want a bottom bunk because your back is hurting.
Yep.
And that's got to be upsetting. I know your back hurts and you want to get positive rest.
For like 10 years I've had a bad back, and all of a sudden they want me to be on a top bunk.
Yeah. So you feel like that does not work for you.
Nope.
So let me, if it's okay, can I tell you a little bit about what our policies and procedures are around switching bunks?
I feel like you've already told me.
Okay, so you're not so interested in that.
No.
I hear you. So we can have a couple options here. I can tell you what we can do and can't do, and then see if any of those ideas help.
All right.
You open to that?
I'm open to it.
All right, so thanks. So I wish that you could have that bottom bunk, and I'm sorry that your back hurts. Unfortunately, that's just outside of our policy. What we can do, though, is I could talk with you about an assessment process to see if you meet standards to get that bottom bunk, or we could refer you to a healthcare provider that could talk about how to either strengthen your back or maybe help you with that sleep hygiene so you can get better sleep in the bunk you're in. So those are really kind of our limits at this point.
I have been wanting to see a doctor.
All right. So how about that? How about we talk about maybe seeing a physician or a healthcare provider that could help you out with that back a little bit.
All right.
All right. And there, talk to me, Danny. I mean, it's not always easy to. We kind of wrapped it up there, but what fits, what doesn't fit from your perspective?
I thought it was good, like holding that boundary and then moving right into what we could do, because I felt like I just wanted to get up and walk away, and then I was like, okay, let me hear what you had to say. So that was awesome.
Nice. So sometimes what we're trying to do with MI then is to hear the concerns, like good reflection, offer some empathy certainly, and then the empowerment approach is like we'd say, these are some things we can't do, but there are things we can do. And so then we're trying to listen, like what are the concerns, hurting back, a bed situation that's not working out, and then how do we find reasonable kind of linkages to that? So that would be a medical provider, maybe sleep hygiene, or doing an assessment to see if you could get a better bunk. So that's it. Those are the steps. Hear the concern, offer some empathy, what you can and can't do, so some education, if you will, and then empowering through making a link, a proposed link, or something the client can do.
Yeah.
Out.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.